Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan, and Happy New Year to you. Welcome to the first Town Hall update of 2025. Some things change, and this one doesn't. Jim Feeney, our town manager, is here to join us with news for this month. Jim, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well, James.
Hope you got a little break.
Indeed, I did.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because it's back to business, right? Today we have just a few things to discuss. We want to talk about what to do, what people should do and take from receiving the annual census in the month in the mail this month. But before that, or in addition to that, excuse me, we'll start with that, and then we'll also talk about a couple of the staples of the January calendar, a couple of events coming up. But let's start with the census.
Sure. So we just wanted to let folks know to look in the mail starting this weekend and then next week, which is the week of January 13th, for the annual census mailing. This is a very important document for the town. It's also important for at the state government level as well, but many of the grants we apply for are based and tied to population numbers. So we want to be as accurate as possible and account for all of the individuals whom are living in our community that we are providing services to. But it helps in a lot of ways with long-range planning as well, especially understanding the age of our residents. For example, this is especially important in education planning. You really want to have an understanding of how big a upcoming kindergarten cohort might be, for example, so you can plan accordingly. So the census data that we get, and it only takes a few minutes to complete, we really appreciate when folks take the time to do that. I know the documents call for it to be, we hope to have it returned within 10 days. I know it's not a firm deadline, but that is the ask. But there's a few other things associated with the census mailing. It's also important to return it because if you don't, you will not be kept up to date as a voter. Mm-hmm. So you will then, if you are an active voter and you're on the list and you don't return your census, you will then become an inactive voter, and you'll get a subsequent postcard in the mail sometime over the summer. And at that point, you'll have to confirm your address to again become an active voter. So save the time, paper headache if you just complete the census now. But we also use the annual census mailing for efficiency and cost savings to include some other materials of importance as we look ahead for planning purposes. So there'll be information on how to request a mailed election ballot. So we will not be mailing an application postcard to all households moving forward. So if you want to vote by mail, you will need to request a ballot. So there is information in this mailing on how to do so, and also on the elections page of the town's website. Of course, at any point, if you have any questions about either the census or requesting an election ballot, please contact the clerk's office. Also included in the mailing is going to be information on 2 surveys the town is currently conducting. The first may sound familiar. It's the annual survey conducted by Envision Arlington, which will be seeking feedback on topics such as education, electrification, trees, and even ACMi. And the deadline to complete the annual survey is March 3rd. And then finally, there will be information on the communications survey, which is a biannual survey seeking feedback on our digital communications channels, such as our website, the town notice emails that we send out weekly, our social media presence, the Arlington alert system, and even seeking feedback on the video updates that we're doing right now.
That's right.
Here, right
this
now.
Thing right here, yep.
So the deadline to complete the communication survey is February 19th. Again, these surveys take about a few minutes to complete, but we really do take the information and results to heart as we look ahead and consider what changes we may want to make with some of the planning activities we're doing, budgeting activities. So we encourage folks to take the time and say thank you in advance for doing so.
Yeah, I mean, with all that information you just gave us, I hope that people will feel duly incentivized to get these things done and done, in a timely fashion. As you said, the census within 10 days and then the other deadlines in February and March. I also appreciate the fact that you tied in that census data with the grants that that as a town, we are so good at generating, and that do really affect everybody's lives here. So, again, lots of carrots, lots of reasons why it's important to fill out these surveys. So get to it, folks. All right, let's move on. I mentioned that there are a couple of, I called them staples of our January calendar, and they really have become that. Obviously, we'll start with Martin Luther King, which of course has been, we have been celebrating his birth and his legacy for a long time now.
Great. Yeah, I want to provide a little bit more in the way of details so folks know that the public is welcome to come for an evening of what should be inspiring discourse, music, and refreshments, all to celebrate the life and significance of civil rights pioneer Martin Luther King Jr. This year's keynote speaker will be author Kelly Carter Jackson, and the musical guest will be the People's Baptist Church Male Chorus. This year, the event will be held on Monday, January 20th at 6:30 p.m. in the Town Hall Auditorium. ACMi, of course, will be live streaming the event, and I invite folks, if they want to learn more, to visit the MLK Jr Committee's website to learn more.
Big event every year for sure, to start every new year at Town Hall celebrating the legacy of Dr. King. And a newer now staple on the calendar is the Lunar New Year, which I think this will be the third year in a row, won't it?
Indeed, newer, growing every year. In fact, this year, the gala, as we're calling it, will be moving to the Arlington High School Auditorium.
Wow.
Which, is a great venue for performances. So, yeah, the Lunar New Year Celebration Gala this year welcomes the Year of the Snake. It will be held on Saturday, January 25th from 4 to 8 p.m., again in the high school auditorium. So we invite the public to join the Chinese American Association of Arlington for an evening filled with cultural performances, food, and activities that highlight the rich traditions of the Lunar New Year. This is a family-friendly celebration. There will be traditional music and dance performances, arts and crafts, food, snacks, and more, and all are welcome, and these are free festivities. So both of these events are listed on the community calendar on the town's website, and I just want to take a moment to offer special thanks to Teresa Marzilli in our DEI division for working so closely with these community groups on these events and helping to grow their significance, importance, and community impact over the past few years.
Yeah, you well described that Lunar New Year. It's just been, I've been lucky enough and smart enough to be at the two that have happened so far, and it makes perfect sense that we'd be moving to the auditorium, which is a great place, and I cannot wait to get there. But also, it's a very, very popular event, so it will fill that space, I'm sure. All right, anything that you want to add?
Nope, that's it for today. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, good enough. We have been joined by Jim Feeney, our town manager, for this first town hall update of 2025. Appreciate Jim's time. Glad he had a little time off, but now he's back on the job and sharing information with us. Thank you to him. Thank you to you. I'm James Milan. We'll see you next time.